Hi you guys, my name is Rosalind Streeter. I am a seer and prophet of God to the nations. Welcome to the journey of vision, where you will soon learn it's just so much easier with God. All right, you guys, come on and let's chat. Okay, you guys, so I'm back, part 2. Here we go. So I just want to quickly share. God asked me, he said to share it with you, what happened to me. So after I published number 10, the last video of God's surprise party, when God spoke to us, right? Okay. Once I published it, God said, now watch me work. Okay. Which I released in part 1. And at the end of part 1, what did God say? He said, I've showed you the hidden things. Now stand up and war, my child. War because it's yours. Okay. God wanted me to share with you what happened to me. So God asked me to rest. So a lot of times when I have a challenge, the way, that was a big challenge. I think it was like 20 videos in such a short amount of time that I had to get out because of God's divine timing, right? So it was a big challenge. Okay, so once I completed the task, a lot of times I go up against warfare, okay? So God told me, he said, go ahead and rest. And I was like, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and lay down. So when I lay down to rest, thank you guys for your prayers, because when I lay down, I promise I felt like I was laying on clouds, like a bed of feathers, y'all. And so I want to say it was about 2 hours of rest that I was resting, correct? Sleeping so good. Okay, so then I started having like all these ideas for the journey of vision and stuff. And God said again, he said, rest, Rosalind, rest, right? Even rest my mind, my thoughts. Okay. So I rested. And God actually, he warned me ahead of time, because God started pulling the curtain back from me. He kept me hidden for a reason for this season, right? And so when he starts pulling back the curtain, more people can see me. You get what I'm saying? I'm no longer hidden. And so when more people can see me, of course, even from a spiritual sense, the war is greater, okay? All of a sudden I'm asleep, and I'm kind of waking up out of sleep because I hear someone called my name, right? And I heard, Rosalind, get up. I have something to tell you, okay? So my Father, my Lord Jesus, he does that to me. Like, he'll wake me up in the middle of the night, when I'm resting. And he'll say, okay, Rosalind, this is urgent. I need you to get up, write this down. And I'll be like, okay, Lord, got you. All right, so in this situation though, I heard the voice, and I heard the voice say, get up, I have something to tell you, right? But then it was like one of those voices, like if you call somebody and you know who you call because you know that's their number, but when someone else pick up, it's like, that's not your voice, so wait a minute, who am I talking to, right? And so that's kind of how it was when I was like coming out of sleep. And so the voice said it again, but this time like a little bit more irritated, you know what I'm saying? And then was like, get up, I have something to tell you, right? And I was like, in my thoughts, Landon, I was like, this is not God, because it didn't sound like my Lord, right? And so then I heard my Father. So then my Father, he said, do you know my voice? And I said, because I was still trying to figure out, the other voice. And then I just smiled, y'all. And I was like, I said, there go my sweet Father. That's what I remember saying, like, because I just know his voice and how comforting it is, you know what I'm saying? And so I was like, yes, Lord, of course I know your voice. And as God started speaking to me, then God was like, this is urgent, get up, I need to tell you something. And so of course I didn't hear the enemy's voice anymore. And just to share, that's why it's so important, y'all, that we can distinguish, right, who we are speaking with, right? That we can distinguish that our Father versus the enemy, because he's a copycat. Like, he will try to deceive you, okay? Because think about it, if I didn't know my Father's voice, what would have happened? I probably would have got up, listened to this voice, and whatever it was, I probably would have gave it to you, right? So it's dangerous. And so I'm just thankful that I know my Father's voice. So I get up, get my pen and piece of paper like I always do, how I am with my notebooks. But I get up, and God, he was like, I need to tell you something. And I was like, okay, what's going on? And he said, you're under attack. And he said, the king of Persia was upset with me, okay? And so he was saying that the enemy was upset with me because of what I released to you guys, y'all, okay? And this is throughout all my videos. So even though I've released so many videos with like in-depth understanding about what's going on from a spiritual standpoint, you know, everything that God has given me, even God's word, right? Most of my videos, God just speaks, okay? But the enemy is pissed at me. And most importantly, the king of Persia is pissed off at me. And the reason being is because God was saying, when I saw in the spirit the how they was holding up our wealth transfer, come on now, what belongs to us, the enemy was pissed off. Okay, the Prince of Persia was pissed off. The King of Persia was pissed off at me, right, for revealing the truth, allowing y'all to see what I saw, okay, the hidden things. Because a lot of people won't be able to see that and gain the understanding of who we need to call on to fight. And if you don't know what I'm speaking of, please go watch Why the Delay, okay? And this is related to the wealth transfer. So when God said it was the King of Persia who was coming up against me, my God, y'all, I started to smile again because I knew what I did, what I was supposed to do, right? I knew exactly what I was supposed to do. So what did I do? I went to war. You hear me? I knew exactly what I needed to do because God already gave us the prayer points. So who did I call on? I called on Michael, my God, Gabriel, right? The God of angel armies, my God. Because I was like, oh my God. I was like, that's all you had to say, Lord. I know what to do. And so I went to war, and God, of course, gave me more that I needed to say. And as soon as I opened up my eyes, y'all, because I was like, it was like when I went to sleep very light. But when I woke up kind of like, I knew I was in a battle because it was like I was heavy or something. And so after I finished praying and I opened up my eyes, y'all, it was as though it was like heaven's light shined in the room that I was in, because everything was just so beautiful and bright. And I felt light again, and I felt peace again. And I was like, my God. So God was like, help them understand that this is war. It's already yours, but this is war, okay? This is war. And so that's why God said, now stand up and war, my child. War. He said, because it's yours. If you remember in the surprise videos, I'm not sure which part it was. I believe it's part 2, where I released the vision about the camels. Remember, we were standing on the front line as we started collecting the wealth, okay? So as God handed us the wealth, right? He threw out the wealth to us. We were still on the front line, right? And so what God is saying, you guys, do not stop praying. Do not stop fasting. My God, do not, y'all. And so because of that reason, we're at war with the darkness, the kingdom of darkness. We are at war, and we are too close. Come on. We are too close for someone to say, oh, it's okay, you can have it. No, not on my watch. I'm trying to tell y'all, listen, I have boots on, okay? I have boots on. And so in the spirit right now, I hear, I'm not even going to go there yet, Lord. I can't go there yet. All right, that'll be part 3, okay? But listen, just hold on. I just wanted to share that with you. But let's understand, this is war. And we're going to take our wealth transfer by force. You hear me? No more suffering. God said it's already ours. All right, part 3 coming right up.